of storytelling is one of the most basic ways to exchange ideas and grow as human beings. I watched tons of movies when I was younger, and seeing a great movie is one of the greatest experiences. As my parents were not really into TV, I played a lot of times outside. I always had to come up with stories almost to entertain myself, and that sort of probably was my first passion for storytelling later on in life. It's fascinating when you watch movies how they can transport you into worlds you don't know you're in part of, or worlds you exactly can identify with, all the things that could happen to you in life, or how harsh the world can be, how cruel the world can be. I love actors, I love human beings, I love this experience, what we call life. I think it's fascinating that we all have these different backgrounds and these different lives and where we come from and where we're going, and I'm fascinated always by people, and that's where my passion goes to and lies, and where stories come from.
I'm from Cleveland.
And where do you live?
In Santa Monica.
What do you want to become when you grow up?
Firefighter.
A firefighter? Oh my God, you're the youngest. Yeah, I was the youngest too.
Just hearing people talk about themselves, where they come, where they're going, you realize that often there's so many parallels beyond, race, religion, and all the rest of it. Knowledge doesn't mean anything. What really means something is how deeply emotionally can you develop yourself, and how deeply emotionally you actually can experience life. I'm very much an optimist. I always believe in the positive. I always believe there's a solution. I always believe that there's a way out of anything. So I think that later on then, when I basically tried to become a filmmaker and was struggling for a long time, I saw movies and I thought to myself, I can do that, or I can do it better. Why don't I get the chances? For me, making a movie is it's like my crew is like a family. We stimulate each other constantly over and over again. We have family around you, which inspires you. It gives you more possibility to go to different places you haven't been before. If you're intensely busy and participating in a life which you're very active, you're working a lot, you have your family, you have people you love, imbalance can happen. We have so many distractions in our lives, especially if one lives in a city and one is surrounded by cell phones and emails and computers and has a lot of interactions going on. And on a plane, you're just sort of in this time capsule of which you're sort of in your own environment, in your own space. You can just look out a window and nobody disturbs you, and you're just sort of away from everything. And it's one of those moments where there's just complete quietness and peace. The only true reflection that one can have in life is in the moment of death, when your life is over. What matters is how many people you loved and people who loved you back. It's not really how many movies you have made or anything else. I think that's ultimately the end, all what counts. When I was growing up, I always believed that wisdom is more important than kindness. But as older I get, I realize that's actually the other way around, that kindness is more important than wisdom.